Hello, I am very happy that you are here today to practice your English. Speaking English well is very important. When you can speak clearly and confidently, you can talk with many people, make friends, and enjoy new opportunities. But speaking English can be hard, especially if you don't practice every day. The good news is that you don't need to spend hours studying to improve your spoken English. Small exercises, done every day, can help you speak better and faster. These exercises are simple and easy to do. You can do them at home, while walking, or even when you are waiting. The important thing is to practice regularly. Many learners feel shy or nervous about speaking. This is normal, but the more you practice, the more your confidence will grow. You will start to feel comfortable using English in your daily life. Remember, it is okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. What matters most is to keep trying and keep speaking. In this video, I will share some easy daily exercises to improve your spoken English. These exercises will help you speak more fluently. Fluency means speaking smoothly, without too many pauses or stops. We will talk about ways to practice speaking with yourself, asking and answering questions, listening and repeating, telling stories, and using new words. I will explain each exercise clearly, and I will repeat important ideas so you can understand and remember them. You don't need to be perfect. The goal is to speak every day and enjoy the process. Speaking English is a skill, like playing a sport or playing an instrument. The more you practice, the better you get. So if you want to improve your spoken English, stay with me. Practice these exercises every day, and you will see progress. It may take some time, but every small step counts. Every day you speak, you get closer to your goal. Let's start this journey together. Speaking English can be fun and rewarding. Keep a positive attitude and don't give up. You can do this. Now let's move on to the first exercise, talking to yourself in English. One of the easiest and most helpful exercises to improve your spoken English is talking to yourself. It may sound a little strange at first, but it really works. When you talk to yourself in English, you practice using words and sentences without feeling worried about making mistakes. You are your own teacher and friend in this exercise. Talking to yourself helps you practice speaking regularly. When you say words out loud, your mouth and tongue get used to English sounds. This makes it easier to speak clearly and naturally when you talk with other people. Also, when you speak alone, you can take your time and try different sentences. You don't need to hurry or feel shy. You can start by talking about simple things. For example, you can describe what you are doing right now. You can say, "I am sitting at my desk," or "I am drinking a cup of tea." These sentences are easy, but very useful. They help you practice everyday vocabulary and simple grammar. Another idea is to talk about your plans for the day. You can say, "Today I will go to the market," or "In the evening I want to watch a movie." When you speak about your plans, you use the future tense and practice new words. This makes your speaking stronger and more interesting. You can also say how you feel. For example, "I feel happy today," or "I am a little tired." Talking about your feelings helps you learn words to express yourself. This is very important because English is not only about grammar. It is about sharing your ideas and emotions. Remember, it is okay if you make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes when learning a new language. The important thing is to keep speaking. If you don't know a word, you can use other words to explain your idea. You can say, "The weather is very hot," or "The sun is shining bright." This way, you learn to use language in different ways. Try to speak to yourself every day. Even 5 or 10 minutes is enough to see progress. The more you speak, the more confident you become. Soon, you will find it easier to speak with other people in English. Talking to yourself is a great way to practice. It helps your brain think in English. It helps your mouth say words quickly. And it helps your heart feel ready to speak without fear. So, Don't be afraid to talk to yourself. It is a very good exercise for your English. Now that you know why talking to yourself is useful, let's look at another exercise, using simple questions and answers. Asking and answering questions is an important part of everyday conversations. It helps you keep talking and understand others better. Using simple questions and answers. Asking and answering questions is one of the most useful ways to practice spoken English. When you use questions, you can start conversations and keep them going. Questions help you learn new words and ideas, and they make speaking more interesting and natural. You can begin by practicing simple questions about everyday topics. For example, you can ask yourself, "What do I like to eat?" Or, "What is the weather like today?" Then, answer these questions out loud. You might say, "I like to eat rice and vegetables," or, "Today, it is sunny and warm." This way, you practice both asking and answering, which are important skills for real conversations. Using questions helps your brain think in English. When you hear a question, your mind looks for an answer. This makes you speak faster and with more confidence. It also helps you remember useful vocabulary and sentence structures. You can try making questions about your daily life. For example, "Where do I live?" or "What time do I wake up?" Then answer them with simple sentences. You could say, "I live at a small city," or "I wake up at 7 o'clock." These sentences are easy but very useful for talking about yourself. Another way to practice questions is to imagine talking with a friend. You can ask, "Do you like music?" and then answer, "Yes, I like music very much." Or you can ask, "What is your favorite movie?" and say, "My favorite movie is a comedy." This exercise helps you get ready for real conversations with other people. It is important to practice both short and longer answers. Sometimes a short answer is enough, like, "Yes, I do," or "No, I don't." Other times you can add more information. For example, "I like coffee because it gives me energy," or "I don't like rain because it makes me feel cold." The more you practice, the easier it will be to give full answers naturally. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Making mistakes is part of learning. The more you speak, the better you become. If you find some questions difficult, try simpler ones first. You can always practice harder questions later when you feel more confident. Practice asking and answering questions every day. You can do this exercise while walking, cooking, or waiting. The important thing is to speak as much as you can. Speaking daily helps your English grow stronger and faster. Now that you know how to use questions and answers, the next step is to practice listening and repeating. Listening carefully and repeating what you hear is a very effective way to improve your pronunciation and speaking rhythm. Listening and repeating exercises. Listening carefully and repeating what you hear is a very powerful way to improve your spoken English. When you listen and repeat, you learn how words sound and how sentences flow naturally. This exercise helps your pronunciation and your rhythm when you speak. You don't need to listen to difficult or long speeches. Start with short sentences or simple conversations. You can listen to an English song, a short video, or a podcast. Choose something easy to understand. Listen carefully to the words and how the speaker says them. Then, try to say the same sentences out loud, copying the sounds and the rhythm. Repeating what you hear trains your mouth and tongue to make English sounds correctly. English has some sounds that may be new or different from your own language. Listening and repeating helps you practice these sounds many times, so they become easier. For example, if you hear the sentence, "I like to drink tea in the morning," listen to how the speaker says it. Notice the stress on certain words and the flow of the sentence. Then, say the sentence yourself, trying to sound the same. This exercise also helps you remember new words and phrases. When you repeat, your brain connects the sounds with the meaning. This makes it easier to use these words when you speak on your own. It is important to be patient with yourself. Sometimes it is hard to say exactly what you hear. That is normal. Keep practicing every day, and you will improve little by little. Try to listen and repeat for 5 or 10 minutes daily. Even a short time can make a big difference over weeks. You can also record yourself while repeating. Then, listen to your recording and compare it to the original. This helps you notice where you can improve. You can hear if your pronunciation is clear or if your sentences sound natural. Remember, this exercise is not about being perfect right away. It is about training your ear and your mouth to work together. It is about learning the music of English, the sounds, the stress, and the rhythm. Listening and repeating is a fun and easy way to practice every day. It helps you speak more clearly and confidently. When you feel ready, you can try longer sentences or short conversations. Now that you have practiced listening and repeating, let's move on to telling short stories. Storytelling is a great way to practice connecting sentences and sharing your ideas naturally. Storytelling practice. Sharing small stories. Telling stories is a wonderful way to practice speaking English. When you tell a story, you use many different words and sentences. You connect your ideas and share something interesting or important. This helps your English become more natural and fluent. You don't need to tell long or complicated stories. Start with small stories about your day or simple experiences. For example, you can talk about what you did this morning, what you ate for lunch, or a nice place you visited. Small stories are easy to remember and fun to share. When you tell a story, it is helpful to think about the beginning, the middle, and the end. For example, you can start by saying, "Yesterday I went to the park." Then you can tell what happened in the park, like, "I saw many birds and I walked for 1 hour." Finally, you can say how you felt. For example, "I felt happy and relaxed." Storytelling helps you practice many things at once. You use new words, grammar, and different sentence types. You also practice speaking longer without stopping. This is important for fluency because in real conversations, people often talk about stories or events. It is okay if you make mistakes or forget some words. You can use simple words and speak slowly. The important thing is to keep talking and sharing your ideas. With practice, your stories will become longer and easier to tell. Try to tell a short story every day. You can tell your story to yourself or to a friend. If you want, you can even record your story and listen to it later. This helps you hear your progress and find ways to improve. Another tip is to use your imagination. You can tell stories about your dreams, your future plans, or a happy memory. Imagination makes speaking more fun and creative. It also helps you use English in many different ways. Remember, storytelling is not about being perfect. It's about practicing speaking naturally and sharing your thoughts. The more you tell stories, the more confident you will feel speaking English in everyday life. Now that you know how to tell stories, the next exercise is very important too. Using new vocabulary in sentences. Learning new words is good, but using them in sentences helps you remember and speak better. Using new vocabulary in sentences. Learning new words is very exciting, but just knowing a word is not enough to speak fluently. To really improve your English, you need to use new vocabulary in sentences. When you use new words in sentences, you practice how they fit with other words, and you remember them better. When you learn a new word, try to make your own sentence with it. For example, if you learn the word happy, you can say, "I feel happy when I listen to music," or "My friend is happy because she got a new job." Using the word in different sentences helps you understand it better and speak more naturally. It is good to start with simple sentences. Don't worry about making long or complicated sentences at first. A short and clear sentence is very useful. For example, if you learn the word eat, you can say, "I eat breakfast every morning," or "I like to eat apples." Try to practice new words every day. You can choose 5 or 10 words and make sentences with each one. Say your sentences out loud and try to speak clearly. This helps your mouth get used to new sounds and your brain remember the words faster. You can also use new vocabulary when you tell stories or answer questions. For example, if you learn the word travel, you can say, "Last year I traveled to the beach," or "I want to travel to another country next year." This way, you practice new words in different situations. If you forget a word, don't worry. You can use other words to explain your idea. For example, if you forget the word delicious, you can say, "The food tastes very good." This helps you keep speaking without stopping. Repeating your sentences is very important too. When you say the same sentence many times, you remember it better. You can say, "I like to read books," again and again until it feels natural. This makes speaking easier and faster. Using new vocabulary in sentences is a key step to improve your spoken English. It helps you speak with more words and ideas. It helps you sound more natural and confident. And it helps you enjoy speaking English every day. Now that you know how to use new words in sentences, the final part of our practice is very important. Remember, to improve your spoken English, you need to practice every day. In the next chapter, we will talk about how to keep practicing and stay motivated on your English journey. You have learned many easy and useful exercises to improve your spoken English. Remember, speaking well takes time and practice. The most important thing is to practice every day, even if it is just for a few minutes. Small steps done regularly bring great results. Practicing daily helps your brain and mouth work together. It helps your mind think in English and your mouth say words more quickly and clearly. Each day you speak, you build more confidence. You feel less nervous and more ready to talk with others in English. It is normal to make mistakes. Don't let mistakes stop you. Mistakes help you learn and get better. When you speak every day, you will see progress. Sometimes it will feel slow, but that is okay. Keep going, and soon you will notice your English is stronger and more natural. Try to use the exercises we talked about every day. Talk to yourself about your day. Ask and answer simple questions. Listen carefully and repeat what you hear. Tell short stories about your life. Use new words in sentences. These small activities will help your speaking improve step by step. Find ways to make practicing fun. You can talk about topics you like, listen to music, watch movies, or read easy books. When you enjoy practicing, it is easier to keep going. Remember, learning English is a journey. Enjoy every step and be proud of yourself for practicing. Thank you for spending time practicing English with me today. I believe in your ability to speak English well. Keep practicing, stay positive, and never give up. Every day you speak, you move closer to your goal. Keep your English learning journey strong and steady. Speak a little every day, and your fluency will grow. You can do this. I am here with you, cheering you on. Good luck, and happy practicing.